How's it going, everyone? Data here. Good morning. Breaking news in the NHL, and this is a big one. As Kailer Yamamoto and Klim Kostin, however you want to say his name, have been traded to the Detroit Red Wings in exchange, wait for it, for future considerations. Yamamoto, a former first-round pick, RFA, the Oilers not going to have the money to pay for him. He's shown good flashes, but I cannot believe that the Oilers have now, if you look at it all, have now, years later, no longer have Yakupov, no longer have Puljujärvi, no longer have Yamamoto. Future considerations, not even a pick. Josh Bailey was traded earlier today with a second-round pick in exchange for considerations. And I was thinking, do I go live on that one? But I was in the middle of doing my first career simulation after last night's draft. Kostin has been amazing. He has done very well in his role with the Oilers. We're going to get into the numbers a little deeper in a moment, but he has been so good. And that is the sweetener that it takes, not just Yamamoto for free. It's Yamamoto and a great piece for free. Steve Yzerman masterclass, absolutely huge dub for the Yzer plan and the Detroit Red Wings. We're gonna start breaking it down in just a moment. As I went live as soon as I could. I jumped off the PlayStation and jumped over here right away. Huge news in the NHL. Wow. So let's start pulling it up. Yamamoto has done good things with the Edmonton Oilers, just that he hasn't really been what they thought he would be, I suppose. 22nd overall pick in 2017. He's now played 244 games. Last season, 2 seasons ago, I guess, he played a full year, got 20 goals and 41 points, a point every other game. If we look at last season, he was on a pace of 35 points. So has he been as impressive as they would like? No, he hasn't. But Yamamoto is still just a 24-year-old winger with a lot of potential, and he's shown very good things. Point per game in 2019-20, then point every other game in 2020-2021, point every game in 21-22. A bit of a struggle, I guess, most recently in 22-23, I will admit. But Kostin as well, a big piece for the Oilers. Don't just look at 21 points in 57 games. Let's look a bit closer at Kostin first and foremost. I think he's the bigger guarantee in this trade. Yamamoto may be the higher end talent in this trade, but the bigger guaranteed piece is Kostin. If I can get the JFresh cards to load. I think he definitely had value. Maybe you can call him soft as a smaller guy, but he is definitely not someone with no value, and he is the perfect candidate for the Steve Yzerman recovery program for players who are losing their spot in the NHL. Come on, let's see it. Let's see Kostin. I think his card is going to be very impressive. Maybe not crazy, but I think it's going to be very impressive for his role. Let's see it. Klim Kostin. Why is it showing me the Islanders? 2x5. No, this is the Josh Bailey's card. I apologize for this. I blame JFresh. No, he had value. He definitely had value. A young former first-round pick who has shown the ability to score every other game. So Klim Kostin, he has been in that 63rd percentile, despite being having fourth-line minutes. He has been in that 63rd percentile, especially this last year. Very valuable for the Oilers, finishing his chances, great goals per 60, but just a great grit guy who, as this image shows, has a lot of value when it comes to getting the job done in terms of his value of getting you those gritty wins. Yamamoto, meanwhile, I don't think I'm going to see anything too impressive. I don't think it'll be disgusting either. Yamamoto here on his player card, we see 59th percentile, big drop, and then a nice little bounce back. He's been good. He's above average pretty much everywhere. At least he's at or above average pretty much everywhere. His even strength offense, his even strength defense, his goals and primary assists per 60, playing at high levels of competition, but also playing with high levels of teammates as well. He's been in that penalty killing role. He is above average offensively and defensively. So Yamamoto, I think he absolutely has value. It's just that the Oilers were in a tough spot and didn't have the money to re-sign him, nor did they have the leverage to really do much in a deal, it looks like. Looking over in the Twitter world, I wonder if there's anything. Yeah, there was the Josh Bailey trade earlier today as well. There's even a trade here at the draft, a second for 167 and a 2024 second. Interesting. The Hurricanes are not going to be tendering Jesse Puljujärvi. So now the Oilers, with that deal, they now have 8.9 million of projected cap space, with Bouchard, McLeod, and Lavoie still as RFAs, and Janmark, Bukestad, and Murray as UFAs. So that frees up a lot of money and money potential, absolutely. But just future considerations, not even a pick. Not even a pick. Stevie Y doesn't even want to grace you with a pick. He just spits at your feet and says, "I'm going to give you what you're going to get, and you're going to like it." So that's a $3.1 million cap space clear up, as Kostin was due a qualifying offer as well and could have been a UFA. So technically, you're getting two guys with RFA rights, but I'm sure the Red Wings are confident that they can sign both those guys, or at the very least qualify them. I don't think I see anything else here. Yamamoto, yeah, the more updated graphic here from Jay Fresh. This is going to provide a bit more of a realistic look, as it involves a lot more of what he did this past season, but it still is pretty similar to what we just looked at over here. 53rd versus this was 59th, so not a huge difference. We see he's still in that above average spot for offense and defense. His primary assists per 60 have dropped, but he's still doing very well everywhere else. His finishing touch also not looking great, but playing second line minutes and doing okay. Not as okay as the Oilers would hope, though, when you have McDavid, Draisaitl, and everyone else in there. Klim Kostin, meanwhile, his more updated card shows that he is a physical shoot-first winger with some finishing touch. He takes and draws lots of penalties. 59th percentile of projected wins above replacement, high goals per 60 and finishing ability, and he's drawing those penalties in a fourth line role. While Yamamoto is a complementary middle six two-way forward. He doesn't have no value. Is he going to become that first line scoring winger, or maybe even your second line scoring winger? I don't think so, but he will definitely be a middle six guy with a lot of versatility, with the scoring touch, the two-way ability that Red Wings will love to have, and they get him for free. Kostin and Yamamoto for free. So the Oilers were in a very tough spot. This is a huge win for the Red Wings, even if they don't work out. There's never an issue with just taking them on for free. No problem with doing that. Oilers fans, as we're seeing, as Owen was saying, the Oilers are definitely going to miss Kostin in their lineup. So a couple trades already today. Josh Bailey and a second moved to Chicago for future considerations. And now it's Yamamoto and Kostin moved to the Red Wings for future considerations. So I just want to break the news with you all here live. It was definitely a surprise, as I thought that Yamamoto would at the very least get a qualifying offer. Owen here in the chat, very distraught as we're here early. Thursday morning after the draft. The second round is well underway. I'm in the middle of doing a career simulation. I won't tell you who just yet, but I'm doing a career simulation that will hopefully be up with as soon as possible, and I'm looking forward to getting that done. So I'm going to get back to it right away. Just as of now, I love that deal for the Red Wings. No matter what happens, it's never a problem to take a guy for future considerations who has shown that ability in his game before. Just one last thing to look at will be the Oilers cap-friendly page one more time to break it all down. Money-wise, they have $8.17 million projected at the moment, with 8 forwards signed. They need to get a good 4 more or so. They have 7 defensemen, 2 goalies under contract. So the Oilers should be fine to have just over $8 million and not too many spots left to fill. And the top 6 of McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Kane, Nugent Hopkins, and probably that's where you fill in the blank. I think the Oilers would do well to benefit from the addition of a top 6 forward. The Red Wings, meanwhile, they have a lot of money to play with. They have $27.5 million, so they should not have an issue at all getting Kostin or Yamamoto signed on. Actually, Yamamoto is signed on for 1 more year. My apologies. It's Kostin is an RFA, and Yamamoto will be an RFA in 2025. So that's $3.1 million that the Oilers get to free up and give to someone else in their top 6. And Yamamoto is going to be able to do that play his same game with a little more breathing room. It looks like in Detroit, then with the pressures of Edmonton. Why aren't you scoring with McDavid? Why aren't you scoring with Draisaitl? Maybe you can get a little bit of freedom now in the Stevie Y school of getting you back to your potential. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I like that deal for the Red Wings very, very much. The Oilers will have to use that money well if they want to get me on board with them. I would love to know the circumstances behind it, but getting absolutely nothing for 2 valuable pieces, wow. I got to know more. That Oilers definitely need to have something cooking if they're going to be giving up that much money for nothing. So thanks for joining me this morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back for breaking news as it happens, should it happen, here in the NHL offseason. NHL 23 career simulations are coming your way. I'm in the middle of working on one right now. That should be up ASAP. Free agency on Saturday as well. You don't want to miss it. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like if you enjoyed the breakdown. What do you think about this trade? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will be talking to you all soon.